Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the unboxing and have a first look at this mid-range Android device by Sony known as the Xperia M4 Aqua. And this is a water resistant device that was recently launched by Sony, and it is powered by the Snapdragon 615 chipset, which is an octa-core. And as you can see, if you look at the back, let's talk about the pricing first. The price quoted here on the box is 24,990, but I purchased this unit from Faisal Communications in Hyderabad for around 21,500. I'll also have the links for online stores like Amazon and Flipkart so that you can check the current pricing. And it just gives you some basic info that it says the battery life can be up to 2 days. That'll be interesting because it supports a 2400 milliamp hour battery. This means it has NFC support and gives us basic idea that it is having an octa-core processor, 13 megapixel camera, front facing is a 5 megapixel shooter and a 5-inch screen, and it's water resistant, and the IP certification is IP68 certified. And this is the black color variant that I have. Let me take out all the things first, and we have the handset also. What else? And we also have the charger. So this is the handset. We look at this after a few minutes, and this gives us the warranty information and the SAR information. And the SAR rating for this mobile is 1.049. And this is the warranty card. Let me keep these things to the side. And this is nothing but USB to micro USB cable. We also get a headset, but looks like it's an ordinary headset, not an in-ear type. Just a basic ordinary headset, but we have the Sony branding. And this is the power plug USB, again Sony branded, and here it says it's a 850 mAh charger. So let's keep these things to the side and let's look at the handset. And this device supports nano SIM, and it says you shouldn't use cut nano SIMs with this device. So let's take this out, and this is the dual SIM model. Sony is also selling a single SIM model, but as of now in India we are only getting the dual SIM model. And the back actually looks that it's made up of plastic. Let me take out this protective cover, and the handset actually feels pretty sleek, as you can see. And here we have the micro USB slot, and this is the micro SD slot, and we have flaps, so you can insert your micro SD over here, and looks like your SIM cards will go here. And again, it's a dual SIM variant that we are getting, and both the SIM slots are nano SIM, so you have to be aware of that. The battery is again sealed inside, it's not user replaceable. And let us actually do the first boot, then I'll give you a physical overview and give me haptic feedback, and it's going to be set up. Let me give you a physical overview. On the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, and also a secondary noise cancellation microphone. And on this end, again, as I mentioned, the SIM slots. This is the power on off button, it's doing the first boot, and the volume rocker. And we also have a dedicated button for the camera shutter, so that's nice. Opening for the speaker, the main microphone, and on this end the micro SD card slot. And this is the micro USB slot that will be used for charging this device. And as you can see, it has that means it has NFC, and the rear facing camera is a 13 megapixel shooter with LED flash, and actually it looks pretty sleek, I would say. And the screen is a 5-inch screen. It's a 720p screen. And let me quickly just set this up. And the good thing is that it supports both the 5 GHz and the 2.4 GHz band. And I'll quickly connect to my Wi-Fi network and we'll continue. We can add a Google account. I'll do all those things later. We can also set up a Sony account. I'll just finish this quickly. Okay, data disclaimer, whatnot. So this is the first boot of the device, and actually the in-hand feel is actually pretty good. Initial impressions, I would say. Again, typical Sony interface that you have seen with earlier devices also. And we have some widgets that are preloaded, like the weather widget and what's new. Now let's look at the settings. If you go down, again, you can adjust the brightness. Let's go to the settings. And let's go to the display first. And we have adaptive display. That means it is nothing but auto brightness. So we have auto brightness sensor, and we also have the glove mode for enhanced touch sensitivity if you would like to have that. I'll just keep the sleep to 2 minutes. Let's go back and let's look at about the device, and let's look at the Android version. As you can see, the Android version is 5.0. that is Lollipop that we are getting out of the box, so that's pretty good. Let's go back and let's look at the storage also. How much storage do we actually get? Do note that I haven't added any micro SD card to the device. And as you can see, out of that 16 gigs, the available space that we get is about 9.9 gigabytes. That's almost about 10 gigabytes of space that we have. We can also add a SD card to the device. So I feel the storage is pretty decent and feels pretty snappy as of now, but it's running the Snapdragon 615 chipset, which is actually an octa-core processor. And the first 4 cores are clocked at 1.5 gigahertz and the other 4 cores are clocked at 1 gigahertz. They are based on the ARM Cortex A53 architecture. And regarding RAM, it has 2 gigs of RAM. And as I mentioned, 16 gigs of internal storage. The rear-facing camera is a 13 megapixel shooter. Front-facing camera is a 5 megapixel shooter. The GPU is the Adreno 405. And the battery is a 2400 milliamp hour battery. So initial impressions, it looks pretty decent, but again, as it's running on the Snapdragon 615 chipset, it'll be interesting to see if it exhibits any heating issues. But let's look at the app tray, and as you can see, quite a few apps are actually pre-installed. We also have the FM radio, so that's nice. And again, we have some Sony proprietary stuff pre-installed like Sony Live. And we also have AVG Office Suite. So a lot of bloatware is actually pre-installed. I'll check later on if I can uninstall some of these preloaded apps. But let's quickly just fire up the Chrome web browser and let's see how it does in web browsing. As of now, the phone looks pretty snappy, guys. Let's try to go to tech. This is the default keyboard that we get. And again, as you can see, it loaded it pretty fast. This is the mobile version. Let's just force it to the desktop. And as you can see, this one also is pretty good. In fact, pretty responsive. Let's try one more site, that is rediff.com. Oops. Let's go here, Rediff. Again, as you can see, it loaded it very quickly. Desktop, and as you can see, so as of now, it's actually very responsive. Let's open up one of the stories. For example, let's open the story. Let's look at the screen quality. And initial impressions, I would say the screen quality also looks actually pretty fine. The viewing angles also look good. And let's also now look at the camera and see how it performs. It's a 13 megapixel rear facing camera. Let me bring some objects. Let's first focus on this battery. And there was a delay. The focusing took a little bit of time. As you can see, after you click, it's not instant. Takes about half a second, but good enough, I would say. Let's look at these snaps. Okay, little bit of blurriness. This came out really sharp, I would say. But again, I will be testing the camera a lot more on this device. So guys, that's it for now for this very quick unboxing of this Xperia M4 Aqua. I will be testing this device for the next couple of days. So if you have any specific questions around this device, do post them in the YouTube comments below and I'll try to include them in my review. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.